If human is a drop, then the Guru is an ocean, and the journey of the drop to the ocean is called the activation of the Kundalini. This means that totality of life cannot be achieved through sadhana of gods and goddesses. It cannot even be achieved by chanting mantras or by performing religious rites, because until your soul is static, until all the impurities of the mind and soul are removed, the awakening of the Kundalini is not possible. The first door of the 7 states is Muladhara Chakra. Muladhara denotes the basis of a human life, be it a man or a woman. The basic essence of the Muladhara is Seman, the vitality of a man. This vitality can be of significance in 2 ways. It flows downwards naturally, and no particular efforts are needed for this. Even a guru is not essential for this process. And when this semen flows downwards, it gives birth to another human being. Thus it is not any special process. I have told you before also, and I am again repeating today, that giving birth to a child is no great achievement. It is but a compulsion heaped upon you, and you have considered a moment of carnal pleasure as true joy. The way of Kundalini is upwards, and awakening of Kundalini is a process of raising the life, a process of making the Kundalini Shakti rise. The basis of this process is the Muladhara, and the process of activating the Muladhara is called Basrika. Basrika means inhaling and exhaling deep and fast. The basis of human life is breathing. The day we stop breathing, the Muladhara will die out and the human life shall end. Hence, in order to fully activate the Muladhara, it is necessary to understand the process of breathing. Basrika means inhaling deeply and then exhaling impure air completely. We can enter into ourselves only through the medium of breathing. We all breathe shallowly and our breathing is too slow. We have in fact forgotten the process of breathing properly. Going from the Muladhara to the Agya Chakra is but a process of correct breathing. When we breathe air, it reaches the topmost part of our brain and it also reaches downwards to the Muladhara. Hence, the path from the Muladhara to the brain is the path followed by the Kundalini. And we have first to reach down towards the Muladhara. When we shall come into contact with the Muladhara and induce force into it, then it shall become activated. Imagine a snake lying coiled up. When we shall tease it, strike it, it shall uncoil and rise up its food. It shall become excited, and excited means it will rise up. There is a deep significance behind this example. All nature has been created by God. Lord Shiva has a snake coiled around his neck, and it is a snake which protects Lord Vishnu. And the Kundalini, which is the basis of human life too, is in the form of a snake coiled up. Hence we should practice Basrika and Pranayam. Through Pranayam, through the air we breathe, we shall be able to reach down and activate the recumbent Kundalini. Look at some grown-up person who is sleeping. You will see movement only in his throat or his chest. There is no other movement in any other part of the body. And then look at a sleeping child. You will see that his navel point is also rising and falling as he breathes. This means that when the child breathes, his breath reaches down up to his navel. Breathing thus is called Basrika, and this means that the process of breathing from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara must be learnt from a child. I have explained to you about Mooladhara and the correct way of breathing. When we breathe thus, the Kundalini Shakti starts rising upwards. On the way upwards, the second door is Swadhisthana Chakra. This chakra is present at the base of the genitals. At this stage, one needs to take care because the Kundalini can fall back if care is not taken. When we breathe fast and deep, the Kundalini is activated and one gets excited. Thus, the sexual passions are ignited. Several disciples have come to me and have told me that as soon as they performed Basrika, their minds were filled with dirty thoughts. This happens because the Swadhisthana Chakra represents carnal pleasures. But you have to be careful because you have to rise higher, and for this you should take help of pranayam. You should pull in air with the help of pranayam, which has 3 steps, namely Purak, Rechak and Kumbhak. Purak means inhaling slowly and deeply. Kumbhak means concentrating the inhaled air around the Swadhisthana Chakra and not allowing it to go further downwards. And the third step is Rechak, which means exhaling slowly. Pranayam is essential in this stage because due to this process, the Kundalini Shakti is prevented to slip downwards and it only rises upwards. And when it rises up, sexual desires are not aroused. Then a glow, a radiance appears on the face of the person and it is filled with such magnetism that whoever looks at him gets attracted towards him. And when such a radiance, such an attraction appears on a person's face, then it should be concluded that the Swadhisthana has been activated. Thus the Kundalini rises further and reaches the third door, Manipur Chakra. Manipur Chakra has special significance as it is present in the navel region. When the child is in the mother's womb, then it is connected through the navel to the mother and it receives all vital life nourishment through the navel. When the mother breathes, the child in the womb breathes through its navel. Hence, navel is not considered an ordinary point. It is the point of origination of divinity. A divine lotus emerged from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and from this lotus, Bramha was created. The process of reaching this chakra is the combined result of Basrika and Pranayam. In this stage, only Basrika won't work and neither shall just the second process work. A special process which is the combination of Basrika and Pranayam is required and only a Guru can teach this process. This process of combining both is very secret. How are the Basrika and Pranayam linked to obtain a new process? Only a Guru can explain this, and when this combination takes place, the navel region becomes activated and the door to true joy opens. The opening of the door to true joy is very necessary. When the Kundalini Shakti flows through the Manipur Chakra and rises up, then the person becomes lost in himself. If such a person meditates, he gets lost in true joy called Anand. He enters into his inner conscience and attains Anand. Then all pleasures become meaningless for him. He does not experience carnal desire when he sees a woman or even when he sees a semi-clad woman, because he has reached a state where the door to true joy has opened and where he has experienced it. His perceptions about everything he sees undergo a complete change. His thoughts, his ideas, everything undergo a transformation. When he speaks, there is a flow, a captivating force, a deep effect in his speech. He becomes capable of blessing with boons or cursing someone. Whatever he does is always correct. Whatever he says turns out to be true. When the Shakti rises further, it reaches the next door, near the heart, the Anahat Chakra. Here too, great caution is required. Anahat means where there is no noise, no commotion. Heart forms the basis of the human body, and when the Shakti reaches the heart, then the body is filled with peace. There is no turmoil, no sorrow, no obstacle left. But the greatest achievement is that when the Shakti reaches the Anahat Chakra, the door to the universe is opened up. The whole universe becomes apparent, and in this stage, the whole life, the past and future, become clear as crystal. Where was I born in my previous birth? Where did I live? Who are my parents? How did I die? Not only this, a person becomes capable of looking back into his past 25 births on reaching the Anahat Chakra. The process of looking back into time comes to him naturally, and not only the past, he also becomes capable of looking into the future. He can know how he will die and where he would be born again. When Rama was near his death, he knew that 2500 years hence he would be born as Krishna. Through the Anahat, he knew where and when he would be born after wandering through the universe. The person whose Anahat Chakra becomes activated becomes capable of choosing his parents. It's up to him to take birth again or not. Ordinary people do not have the capability to choose their parents. When you are wandering as a spirit after death, at that moment, when a man and woman copulate, you enter that womb. You do not have any choice. You are helpless. Maybe if at that moment some other couple had been in confluence, you would have gone into that womb. But a person who has reached the Anahat Chakra can choose any womb. He may take birth again after 20 years, after 500 years, or after a few moments. Hence, on the activation of the Anahat Chakra, the light of erudition spreads in his life and nothing is left unrevealed to him. All the secrets of the universe are unraveled before his eyes. The sun, the moon, and the whole universe appear before him. He becomes capable of not only seeing the universe but also establishing it in his own body. Krishna said to Arjuna in Gita that if you want to see the whole universe, see it in me. The battle of Mahabharata is not taking place on the land before you. Just look into my body. And when Arjuna looked at Krishna, he saw the battle going on in his body. He was taken aback. Krishna said, "Don't be surprised. This can be achieved by the activation of the Anahat Chakra. The person who has achieved this can see the universe in his own body, and thus he can see his several past births. Hence new experiences are gained on entering the Anahat Chakra. When such a person closes his eyes, he can read any person's mind. He can reach any place. For him nothing remains a secret. He becomes capable of seeing an event occurring thousands of miles away because the Anahat Chakra is the door to unlimited possibilities. After this stage, the rising of the Shakti is nothing but the elevation of the soul to spiritual heights. Basrika, Pranayam are stopped. From this point onward, the Shakti can be raised through an explosion which only a Guru can provide. The Guru does Shaktipat through which his divine powers are transferred into the disciple. When this transfer takes place, the Vishuddha Chakra, which is located in the region of the throat, is activated. As soon as the Vishuddha Chakra is opened up, Saraswati, the goddess of education and wisdom, establishes herself in the person's vocal cords. Shlokas start emanating from his mouth naturally, and all spiritual knowledge is attained by him. All the knowledge in the Vedas and Upanishads becomes known to him, and he memorizes it. Then he has no need of studying books, participating in debates, or thinking deeply, because on the activation of the Vishuddha Chakra, the goddess representing all the Shastras blesses him and instills divine powers into his voice. He becomes capable of understanding the soul and the Almighty. All the knowledge of the Shastras is attained by him automatically. And this is a process which can be initiated only through the divine energy of Shaktipat. The Vishuddha Chakra cannot be activated on one's own. It is possible only through the Shaktipat performed by a Guru, for only he has the divine powers to do so. The Guru transfers his powers into the disciple, and the Kundalini, which had stopped at the Anahat Chakra, moves up to the Vishuddha Chakra due to a great explosive force produced by the transferred Shakti. Reaching the Vishuddha Chakra is the greatest achievement because on reaching it, the person becomes capable of concentrating on his inner soul and changing the size of his body and soul. He can then increase or decrease the size of his body according to his wish. He can make his body 500 feet tall or can make it smaller than a dust particle. Thus, by reducing his size, he can travel through the whole universe. Sitting in a room, he can reach any place and then return back to his body. Krishna could form several bodies similar to his own, and this was accomplished only through the activation of the Vishuddha Chakra. Hence, activation of Vishuddha Chakra is the greatest achievement.